Hello and welcome back to my Concertina sketchbook, and as you can see here I've gone for a well, it's time-lapse look, I suppose. These look like two feathers. I'm afraid the lighting's not fantastic, which is irksome. Look at these guys. One on the right looks a little bit cheeky. Definitely an invitation sort of look on his face. I mean, they're not feathers, obviously. They're kind of... I'm trying to make them look a bit like they're wearing cloaks, but also they could be wings as well. It's alright, they won't stay bald, because that's always unnerving. Not sure why I've done such large lips on the figure on the right. No lips on the figure on the left. I don't know what's going on there. It's one of my favourite pencils I'm using here. One I was gifted. My other half bought for me. It's quite a nice heavy one, and it's Küelox. Excuse me. That's probably because I'm hiding under a blanket to try and muffle some of the external sounds for this video. I don't have any proper baffles, so it is both warm under here and a tad dusty, so that's fun. Anyway, my pencil is Küelox 3308 7mm. I can't remember which softness of lead I was using, but it's either HB or 2B. This one is one of the stiffer brush pens I have. I bought a couple from Wish, so it's quite a nice little. I mean, the Küelox pen, the metal mechanical pen, it's nice because it's got nice fine lead, but not too fine. But it just feels really solid, and it's just a really pleasant thing. It's got, yeah, and also it's got a bit at the top that you can twist to let you know which hardness of lead you've got, which I think is a nice little detail. Try saying that 10 times drunk. Yeah, so I got the. I think this pen is actually designed for writing, so like writing Chinese and Japanese characters. But I tend to use it as a liner because it just gives you, it's a fairly firm pen, but it gives you enough of a spring that you can get you can adjust the thickness of the line while you're working. So it's a nice little thing. I mean, I'm no, illustrative genius or anything, but as you can see, I haven't even sorted out a ruler there. Just like any straight edge wouldn't do this. And if you're measuring something, obviously use a ruler, but half the time, if I just want a straight line, it's just, right, where's the nearest straight edge I can draw along? Ugh. My hands look so weird. It's so weird watching my own hands. Don't know why it's gotten dark with. Hey, light back on. Trying to get rid of some of the pencil marks. Nice soft rubber. I think it's the Staedtler one I got from a kit. Well, a set. like a stationery set. My hands look so stubby in this video. That's really weird. So yeah, so you've got the two characters, the two figures. You've got, on one side you've got the plants, and the other side you've got the books. So that probably gives you another clue as to who these characters are. They're just kind of smug at this guy. It also kind of looks like Fergal Sharkey, which is a bit weird. Oh, there's too many ages, this bit. It's cool though. It worked. I think it worked quite well. I was thinking to myself, I don't really want to draw individual feathers, but then again, drawing feathers on this character might not necessarily be the accurate way of doing it. So they're a weird sort of combination of feathers and scales on this side. It's perhaps too complicated. I'm worried that the final image is a bit OTT, visually speaking, but I liked it a lot better than the one I tried before. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers and all that. You'll see in a minute how much, you know, some people would like individually colour each of those, but that is not my shtick. You'll see in a minute. But, it took me a while to do this. I can't believe I actually did this. Normally when I'm doing stuff like that, I'd do anything to avoid this sort of mildly tedious, repetitive patterning. I've also bitten all my nails since then as well, which is kind of sad. Don't know why. I blame the Rona. I always blame the Rona. They're nice. I think this came out alright. Anyway, what am I looking at here? Yeah, so yeah. So this is sort of like scales, feathers, but then scales and feathers are very closely related. I mean, the number of feathered dinosaurs and, I mean, birds are basically the surviving dinosaurs. It's not crocodiles and stuff, it's the birds. So it would be appropriate, since these two are supposed to be angels, one fallen, one not so fallen, that they would have the characteristics of birds. I mean, most demons have the characteristics of less popular animals. So, you know, you get lizardy ones and froggy ones and you know, just generally gross creatures. Not that I think that scaled animals are gross, but some people do. A lot of people do. I'm quite a fan of snakes and lizards and whatnot. They seem pretty chill in general. Unlike birds, weirdly enough. Which are not as mad as horses. I'm not a big fan of horses. I'm not scared of them, but they are. I've never met a horse that seemed entirely hinged. Maybe that's, mind you, I haven't met that many horses, you know. There might be many, many very calm, very sensible horses out there, but I've never come across them, so to speak. I just want to point out that I'm not doing this picture naked, so if you see a flash of thigh there, it's not because I am naked while I'm doing this, it's because it was very warm that day, and I probably had, well, I didn't set up the camera very well, but then, as I say, I'm sharing this room with my daughter. I mean, technically speaking, it's her room, so I kind of feel bad. But then I think I said that. So yeah, so here I'm trying to get a sort of two-tone iridescent look without using two-tone iridescent stuff. So I've got the soft pencils from the last time as a, it's supposed to give this a kind of romanticism, and it kind of gives it a 3D effect. Also, I'm a big sucker. I love purple and green together. I think they just look really good. I think they're on one of the tetrads, but I can't remember. like primary, secondaries, and what have you. You have the like complementary or contrasting colours. Then you've got things like tetrads and quads, and it's just colour theory stuff. Which frankly, I mean, colour theory is useful, but never let it stop you doing what you want to do. If you like a particular colour combo, go for it. That's what I say. I'm always a bit weird about blue and orange though. But I think that's because generally the shades of blue and the shades of orange they put together are a bit peculiar. I quite like it when you have those colour combos that slightly hurt your eyes. I don't know why I find that pleasant. I'm trying to add a bit of shading in to give this boy a bit of, when I say boy, B-O-I, a bit of realism. After all, I don't think angels are actually supposed to have genders. I don't know about demons. Do demons have genders? I think probably it depends on the demon. And if some demons are fallen angels, then do they have genders? Were they assigned genders when they fell? In which case, that would explain a lot about human beings and why they're weird about gender. I personally, I don't know, gender seems a bit of a thing. I mean, it'd be like, it seems to be a bit like assigning people because, you know, someone's got slightly larger lung space on their left than their right, or, you know, someone's got some sort of strange, you know, someone with an appendix or without an appendix, or someone, I don't know. I mean, imagine if we were divided along lines of, I don't know, we had our elbows measured at an early age and someone said, well, if you have elbows that look like this, then you're this type of person. If you have elbows that look like that, you're that type of person. It does seem a bit weird to me. Can you see I don't bother to actually fill anything, I just go straight over the black lines. I do have to come back in here at one point and thicken up some of the lines, just to make them a little bit more distinct, but I'm only doing those ones. That's kind of cute. Look at these boys. There you go. Now I'm coming with, these are watercolour pens. I'm still not sure if they are actually watercolours or whether they're just water-based inks. Because they call themselves watercolour pens, but there are lots of things you can mix with watercolours that aren't actually... Yeah, what I didn't realise was the black pen that I was using was slightly, was not waterproof. I think it gives it quite a nice sort of oldie worldy look. It makes it look slightly mildewed. Did you know that the smell of old books is actually because they're slightly mildewed? There's actually a specific kind of fungus that lives on old books, and that's what makes them smell like that. And for some reason people find it attractive. But then human beings are weird, so... Although, I must admit, I am a big fan of the smell of books. I love a new bookshop. I love it. Old bookshops have a very distinct smell. I like that. Oop. I obviously forgot to turn the camera back on when I did that bit. I just realised I did both of the floors on their spaces red-ish. I only just noticed that. How weird is that? I suppose it makes sense. I mean, they're good friends and whatnot. Just gives them a bit of something. I suppose gives them you kind of expect, if they'd be stuck on Earth for so long, that they'd start having similar thoughts about things or similar tastes. Not that these two characters particularly do. Or at least not overtly. I think it's more of a subtle thing than that. They're definitely more subtle types. I was hoping that one would kind of look a bit like rosemary, a rosemary plant. I don't know why I thought a rosemary plant would be appropriate, but I should really have drawn a sneer or something on the figure on the left's face, but there's something about that slight smugness that I found quite appealing. Okay, I'm doing it. Oh yeah, I'm trying to do some 3D stuff. Trying to make it look vaguely like it's the pots are standing on the floor. I'm not sure if it works or not. What am I doing? Oh, oh, I see. So I'm just trying to get some little highlights there. These places where there needs, yeah, the bindings of the books. Just so it actually looks like books. I tried. That's all I can say. Bless him. Love him. Yeah, I couldn't get that top lip right. Ended up making him look like he's, I don't know, got some weird issue. I feel like slight embarrassment was a thing here. Yeah, a little bit of blush. Still can't get that top lip right. Made him look like he's got a bit of a moustache. It's not a good look. But as I say, I tried. It's always annoying. There's always something when I'm doing a drawing. There's always something that just bugs me. I should leave it alone at an earlier stage and just give up. Just like, ah. Yeah. Please, the top lip, no. Ugh, so bad. Anyway, it's getting towards the end of the video now. And I think if you've managed to last this long, oh, there you go. Oh, now it looks freshly waxed. Beautiful. If you managed to last this long, you might as well like and subscribe, and feel free to, if you think any of your friends would enjoy this, feel free to share this with your friends. And if there's any particular videos you fancy seeing, or any characters you fancy having a go at, or any challenges, don't forget to leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe.